And thank you, Sanji. Well, that's all the time we have for our Bronx updates. Moving into other news, April is Autism Awareness Month, and founded in the year 2003, Next for Autism provides support and resources for people with autism as well as their families. My next guest is Autism Vice President for Program Development, Dr. Patricia Wright, and we welcome you to the show, and good to have you.
Thanks, Daren. It's really a privilege to be here.
Good. And so for people who don't know about Next for Autism, you do some great work, and so let us know.
Sure. So Next for Autism is a unique organization, and that we design, launch, and support innovative programming for people living with autism today.
Mm-hmm. And so when we talk about people living with autism today, obviously a lot of people are affected by autism, and not just the people affected, but families are actually affected. And so I know you do a great job of working with both.
I appreciate you saying that, Daren, because I think we do think about the individuals that are affected, but of course they're members of families and our communities. And Next for Autism is really committed to supporting that entire group of individuals to ensure that everybody's leading a high quality life.
Yeah, so as we're talking about Autism Awareness Month, what are some of the things that we need to know this month?
Sure. So I think the prevalence of autism is increasing, and I think there's been a lot of awareness about that prevalence. And Next for Autism is really looking at services and supports to ensure that they lead meaningful lives. So I think one of the aspects that Next for Autism is really focusing on is adulthood, and what are the needs for individuals with autism as they're entering adulthood.
Right. We talk a lot about children, right?
We do.
And we do put a lot of focus on, and they should get the focus.
We all value children, and Next for Autism has built programming for children as well. But
right.
We think about it from a lifespan.
And then from an adult perspective, what are some of the challenges that maybe we don't know about that adults actually face with autism?
So one of the things that is there hasn't really been a lot of focus on adulthood. So there's a dearth of research. So we're learning as we go here. But we also think about what leads to a quality life in adulthood: employment, relationships, community living. And we need to make sure that those services and supports, just in the way that we built schools and we built social service supports for children, we need to do the same thing for adults with autism. Children with autism grow up to be adults with autism.
That's it, that's it. And so the support these days, you can say from your perspective, has actually increased down through the years.
I think so. I think the awareness has increased our understanding of the needs. So things like, again, when you think about employment programs, Next for Autism, we've built an internship program in collaboration with NYP, New York Presbyterian. So for youth, as they're moving into adulthood, doing internships, we know many of us did internships.
Right.
I'm looking around the studio here. There's many interns. We know that if you do internships, you're more likely to gain employment. And New York Presbyterian, in partnership, we were able to build a year-long internship for youth with autism to then gain and maintain competitive employment.
So if you have parents and actually adults out there who may be dealing with autism, want to get connected with you, what would you recommend?
Well, of course, visit our informative website at nextforautism.org. I also think about ensuring that we understand that autism is a lifespan issue. So as I'm thinking about parents and they're working with their children now, think about what should we be thinking about for adulthood? What do we think about for employment for all of our children? Those questions should be the same, and those expectations should be the same for people living with autism.
I had a great takeaway. A couple of weeks ago, we had somebody else on set, and we talked about autism, and they said the one thing they wanted people to understand is that every person with autism is a different case. No two cases are pretty much similar. You agree?
Absolutely. Every person is unique, and every person with autism is unique. So we can't think about everyone with autism being the same. Everyone needs individualized supports.
Yeah, Patricia Wright is our guest here. She's the Vice President of Program Development for Next for Autism, and want to thank you for coming by and sharing a little bit about autism. And certainly, if you had to leave us with one thing before the month is out, what would you want us to know?
We would say that Next for Autism is committed to everyone with autism leading a high-quality life.
All right, Dr. Patricia Wright, thank you so much for being
with us.
Thank you so much, Daren. All righty, listen, now if you want more information, resources, and future events, what we want you to do is visit nextforautism.org. We are going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with more Open. Stay with us. We'll come right back right after this.